right. Well, we are live. Welcome back to Live with Rick and Tyler. We've upgraded the studio. We have a TV. We have new graphics. This is getting real. Like this like might be a real thing that continues on past the stay-at-home quarantine. What do you think, Tyler?
I think more people will watch it once quarantine's over.
Yeah, definitely. When they
They'll
can
be
go
taking
back
off work
outside and go to
saying go to
movies
vacations,
and
yeah.
shopping and all that stuff, they're definitely going to want to stay at home and watch this.
Absolutely.
Watch the two of us do this back and forth a little bit. So if you weren't with us for the first Live with Rick and Tyler, the explanation for us doing this is simply that we had planned content for today and through the next couple of weeks that's called Behind the Curtain videos, and because of just some social distancing and those videos are shot kind of in close quarters, we wanted to just hold off on those and do something a little bit different, maybe completely different actually, that would bring some laughter and levity to a very serious situation. And so that's why we're doing this. And so we are live with you guys right now, and we said we're going to cover some topics throughout these live gatherings, Live with Rick and Tyler. And today's topic is more kind of on the personal side, so we're just kind of talk back and forth. And if you have questions, please submit those. We have Tom with us at a safe distance, but he is able to read questions that you can submit in, and we'll take questions and answer those as best we can. And so, one of the things and one of the reasons why I picked personal as the topic is that sometimes we get feedback that says it's kind of hard to know you guys on a personal side. We know you more from a distance than we do up close, just because of our particular roles and the number of people and stuff like that. So I thought, well, let's just take one of these times and ask some personal questions. And one of the personal things that came up in our in our first video was in my first go-around of creating a graphic for us. It included a photo of you with some blonde and pink hair, and I don't know.
Never happened. This is photoshopped.
This is not Photoshopped. I don't know how many people actually know the story behind that photo and actually that moment in your life, which I know is a very proud moment for you.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Not, huh? So this is the photo that was there. So we'll just let that. We'll let that one just sink in for people. By the way, once you see this, you can't unsee it, and you can't hold us accountable for this if it brings you nightmares.
Oh, you'll have nightmares.
It's terrorizing.
Forever.
So why don't you explain to them what happened?
Okay, so this was from our Double Dog Dare series, and Rick was clever enough
Which they can go out on our website and find, and there is more footage of you having this done.
I had to preach a sermon like this.
Yes.
So, Rick was smart enough to make sure he went first, so that each week after the first time it would escalate.
Wisdom.
And get worse. And so I was told that they were going to bleach my hair white, and then I was going to preach like that. So that was what I reluctantly agreed to do. And so we get into the salon, and they're doing my hair, and I noticed that she was putting more time on the front part of my hair.
So you actually noticed that?
I thought it was weird. I'm like, why is she paying? It feels like she's paying a lot more attention to this one spot. I'm like, maybe it's harder to get to the front, so you really have to work it a lot more, or something like that. I think there was something to do with it being the front of my hair. I was like, because I really have no idea what it normally goes down when you get your hair colored, because I just kind of keep it the color that it is. And thought that was weird. And then, lo and behold, these some of my lovely coworkers decided that they would bribe the what do they call stylists? I guess the stylist to do the front pink without my knowledge, permission, or consent.
So do you know how that actually happened?
I
feel like we've told you.
You have told me that you made a deal with the devil to accomplish this. So
while she was going back to, we'll leave her unnamed and everything just to protect her.
Protect the guilty.
While she was walking back to the back of the salon to get the dye for your hair, I walked with her and was looking at other colors because we had told you we were going to do blonde, and I thought, maybe we'll just change it up and not tell you because you're not going to be able to know until afterwards. And so when we walked back there, I was talking to her and I said, what other colors do you have? And she's like, well, I have all kinds of colors. What are you thinking? I was like, I don't know. And so she showed me this pink. And she said, here, I got an idea. Why don't we do part of it, all the blonde, and we'll just do the front pink. And so this is what it looked like when she was doing that. You had no idea
Right, yeah,
at this point. You thought everything was blonde.
I wondered why Brody was talking so much, because I never get that much from him, and then I realized later he was deliberately trying to keep me distracted.
How did it come out?
How did it come
I
out?
had to get it dyed to a color like my hair color. So you can't, it doesn't come out. She strips the hair of its color.
So
it went to a similar. On Monday, I had it dyed back, but like I seriously spent the whole weekend going, "People, my eyes are down here." Like I had to.
Well, I mean, you can't unsee. I mean, look at this. This
It's
is how.
horrid.
So let's also point out something here. Now that everybody knows, so this was your double dog dare. You fulfilled the dare. You did preach with your hair like that, and you went back and re-dyed your hair to a color similar to your natural color, I guess. So that it. But here's one of my favorite parts. So this is a photo that we took. Me being Brody, Charles, myself, Michael, some of the others that were there. This is a photo that you took.
Yeah.
So this is your fault for this photo being out there. This has nothing to do with us. You put this photo out there.
Greatest lapses of judgment in my life. You think that there's people you have in confidence and people that you can trust, and don't trust anyone. They're all a bunch of.
Well, I mean, what did we learn
leaks.
from this, Tyler? What's the wisdom piece? What is the learning?
Never let Rick be around when your hair is being dyed.
That is very
Or
true.
when you're in a salon, or any type of compromising position. Just make sure Rick's not around.
Make sure Rick is not close by. I do like to have fun and play some fun jokes. We're gonna leave this up here maybe for the
perfect.
duration for people.
I feel like the welcome.
Remember,
graphic is so
we're
good.
on either side of the TV, so you can.
I don't think they're going to hear anything else. That
I
happens in
know
that
it's
picture
just
there.
going to be there. So a couple questions as we kind of just talk about some personal stuff. One of the things that what would you say is the most frequent question that you get, like when you're done teaching or you're in the back of church on a Sunday or just if you're out and people seem to find you in the grocery store or wherever you might see others. What do you think is maybe the most frequent question you get just about you or your life?
At this point, it's usually about how Rowan's doing, or
Okay.
new things that everybody wants to know about him because he's obnoxiously cute.
So it's no longer about you.
Yeah, I don't.
It's
I'm just
about your son.
Yeah, a connection piece for updates on Rowan.
Right.
So yeah, that's become probably the most
Prior to Rowan, were they asking about Erica?
Yeah. Usually,
Which again, not about you.
I've always been like
really
the third or
hurt
fourth
the ego,
supporting
right?
character in my own life, so I don't even have a primary role in that. So yeah, usually it'd be about her, or then I guess a lot of times when it comes, I don't know that I get a ton of like super personal questions that are common. Like just they're all.
Well,
they
what's
tend
the
to be all
one
over the
thing
place.
people want to know? Is there one thing about your life that, obviously we don't share when we're teaching or communicating or any of that, but just we're just in our regular day lives, is there one thing that people want to know?
Honestly, what they ask me about the most tends to be stuff revolving the memorizing. Do you learn all that, or do you have notes someplace that I'm not seeing? And stuff like that. Because that seems to take a first position above anything about me. And I think some of that might just be because I tell so many stories that they'll ask questions about a specific story, but they don't come up there's not a whole lot of other components. Maybe they probably ask about my mom a lot and have a lot of sympathy for her because she had to deal with me for a long time.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. I think some of that just becomes that kind of they hit all over the board because I open with a story, basically a personal story most days.
Right. Yeah, your teaching style is to share a lot about your childhood or something that you experienced growing up as an adolescent or a teenager and stuff.
So yeah, usually it's probably about memorizing and just that I do it or how long it takes or any of that.
We got a question.
Ooh.
We have a question.
First question.
What's your favorite book in the Bible?
What is your favorite book in the Bible? That's
Rick's
a
going
great
first.
question.
Yeah.
It's a really good question. We are going to cover the Bible topics in a couple of sessions from now. The next one we're going to talk about church, and then the one after that will be Bible. So, but not to not answer your question, but just so you know, we'll get more in depth into that.
So
What's your favorite book of the Bible?
I think Luke.
Luke.
Yeah, I like the Gospels a lot, but one of the things about Luke that really helps me is that he begins his Gospel by saying, I have carefully investigated all these things and come to the conclusion, essentially, that Jesus is the Son of God. And so that, because for me, faith that is blind is useless. And that's what I appreciate most about Scripture, is that there's history that invites you to ask questions. It invites you to challenge it by providing historical context in addition to actual teaching. And so that Luke did that investigation and did that work allows me to kind of rest and trust in that instead of having to do, to worry about that, because that's kind of my personality with Jesus. I had to test it, go. I've investigated all these things and come to the conclusion. So it just resonates a lot with me personally, because that's why I'm here. In that.
Yeah, when I think about, obviously that's a fairly loaded question. To choose one a book of the Bible that you love the most. I like Philippians. I'm a big fan of joy, which we all know is different than happiness. I'm a big fan of just that deep internal joy that Christ brings to us. I'm a big fan of it, kind of always working into every situation, and especially in the kind of, again, the crazy situation that we're in right now. That we still can maintain joy because we know ultimately God is in control, and no matter what, He's with us and will take us through this and will take us home. And so Philippians has always been a really favorite of mine in the New Testament, for sure. We got
3 questions.
We got a couple more questions.
Here we go. It's getting real now.
I'm interested in, you guys can be quick with this for both of you. What was your childhood dream, what you wanted to be?
What you wanted to be growing up? What did you want to be when you were a kid?
Tyler got there.
Tyler, what did you want? This is it, right? You have arrived.
No, I did not want to do this.
To be working with me, right? That was your childhood dream?
Before I knew you, I dreamed of working with you. Yeah, that sounds predestined. I was convinced I was going to be a famous baseball player. So much my signature sucks because I practiced signing my name on baseballs.
You can't say sucks on this.
My signature is not great because I signed it on a curved surface rather than a flat surface for so long that I'm like, whoa. So yeah, I don't know why I'm doing it with my left hand.
All of your handwriting is pretty terrible, to be honest.
It is truly abysmal.
And you have admitted that. That's not anything that you haven't been told or you wouldn't admit yourself.
I could write prescriptions.
But you want to be a famous baseball player.
I thought I was going to be a famous baseball player. Yeah.
Wow.
I used to go out.
We got
every morning.
We got into your sports career in our first episode, I guess you could say.
It's good that you got a sports ministry. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I would wake up at about.
Have you been volunteering in our baseball ministry out there? Maybe you should.
Yeah, I wake up about 5 in the morning when I was a kid every day for 3 years, and would throw a tennis ball against the garage and practice fielding it. So we had one of those with the shingles, the way they would layer. I would throw it up on that because the ball would hit the corner and pop up, and so I could practice fielding pop-ups really slow. It was in my head. I was winning World Series games while I was doing it. I was living in this wild imagination world. My parents also loved it because it was super loud. 5 o'clock in the morning, thud.
Growing up, I would answer that question. I obviously, when you play sports, you always kind of dream of being a professional athlete. We know that percentage of
so small.
It's very small. So I actually thought, forensic investigator, something in law enforcement in the forensic side. In fact, I started college in criminal justice, and one of my first criminal justice classes just kind of turned me in a different direction where I went into business. But I just felt like that was something. I'm a detail-oriented person. I love details. I love understanding everything in the smallest detail. And
plus, you put the glasses on, all cool. When
you actually, I thought it'd just be really neat to go afterwards and try and figure out. That's why, and we're going to get into maybe some TV shows and stuff eventually, but I'll save that for later. All right, you had another question?
2 more.
2 more questions.
So what's the plan as soon as we're able to gather again for services? Are we going to go back to normal schedules with Bible studies and groups, or do you have something else in mind?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and I'll say from the start that we're not sure yet. We really don't have, I think, enough clarity to answer that question with any type of assurance. We just don't know. We're looking at everything. We're trying to understand it in light of restrictions, in light of safety. There's a biblical ethic here to keep people safe and to follow the orders that are given to us as those orders come. And actually, the last show that we'll do together, which is right now scheduled for the end of April, hopefully at that point we'll be able to give a clearer answer to that question. It's a really good question. I think a lot of people maybe are asking that. We're asking that ourselves, our eldership, our leadership, our staff. So
Because it's unlikely the restrictions are just going to go away. They'll probably be lifted in steps. And so we might be allowed to get together, but we don't know to what degree that looks. So how we're allowed to start meeting again will somewhat determine. And so we can't. It's one of those things of like we'd love to answer, but we don't know yet.
I feel like it'll be like a tiered response, and I actually even feel even if restrictions were completely lifted, I think just people will have to make their own decision about how they'll integrate back into whether it be small crowds, medium-sized crowds, large crowds, or those types of environments, just out of a precaution and not really knowing still how to fight this virus if they come up with a vaccine or what. So still a lot of unanswered questions, I think. Okay.
Tyler.
Ooh, it's me specifically.
You recently preached a very powerful sermon a couple months ago, and you talked about a kid that changed your life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remain friends with him, or do you keep in contact with him?
Yeah, he's one of those people that I will always kind of consider like a lifelong friend. We don't have tons of contact on a regular basis anymore, just because I haven't seen him since probably my junior year coming back from college, because we went to different colleges, and he lives in, I want to say, somewhere in the Kentucky area. So we just haven't had an opportunity to really see each other a whole lot. But I mean, I reach out to him every now and then. And on occasion, we'll chat a little bit, but. I would consider him a friend, even though we don't have lots of regular contact anymore.
Cool.
All right.
If you guys can learn or play any instrument, which would you choose?
Oh, that's easy. That's easy for me. Piano.
Yeah.
Well, also cello. Those are my two favorite instruments. Two favorite instruments. I love to go out and find the piano and cello music, Spotify or Apple Music or whatever, and just listen to that. I used to. I actually play that when I'm studying or writing messages, all that. So those are my two favorite. And if I could learn to play either one of those, if God would give me that ability to do that. I've tried to learn the piano. And for whatever reason, my fingers don't. I mean, I can maybe play on one hand, but trying to bring the other hand, and everything goes. So yeah, that's easy for me.
I'd just like to be able to sing without people's ears starting to bleed.
We would like for that too.
Yeah, that would be.
I mean, I think all the people would say amen to that.
Right. That would be a wonderful. My wife loves music.
So no instrument. You just want to be able to sing.
That would be my first choice. Yeah, if I could, I would
Wow.
like to be able to sing.
Wow.
But yeah, we keep watching shows with all these people that sing really well. And you're like, look, everything that we're watching has people singing, and I can't do that.
But don't you have a guitar?
I do, and I can play like 3 chords.
Okay.
Yeah. I took guitar lessons for 2 years.
So is that why you've given up
He's a lefty.
the desire to play guitar and you just want to be a singer?
Reality kicked in, and a recognition that I can't keep tempo, I can't keep a beat, and I'm tone deaf. Those things all kind of hit.
Everything the odds are against you.
Yeah, there's really no thing of music that works for me.
All right, what would you say is there has there been a time where someone asked you a question that just seemed crazy, like the craziest question maybe you've ever been asked?
About me personally, or about like just in anything?
Just in anything.
Oh gosh, honestly.
I know that's a pretty
so many crazy questions. It's hard to filter them. I mean, a lot of the crazier questions always seem to have to do with end times. It seems like they get you with this weird stuff of like, hey, I was reading this.
And maybe we shouldn't say crazy question. Just a question that kind of caught you off guard, where you weren't really expecting that question. It came at a kind of a moment where it just didn't seem to fit with everything else going on. Because I don't want to put anybody down that their questions are crazy, but just a question that just really kind of shocked you, and you had to. Let me say it like this: have you ever had a question that was asked and it stumped you, and it really did, like you were at a loss for words in your brain? Because I know your brain works at a high speed, at rapid speed, and so you usually, and we had this conversation earlier in our first episode about your response time.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that question where it just?
There was one that was really, and it was more of a situation that led into a question, but it was right before a service, and I was like, in your headspace before you preach, you're trying to spend your time with God and kind of get yourself in the right zone. So I'm trying to do that, and this couple grabs me, and they're one of those couples that are like they're really like they're very conservative, but they're very aggressive about the conservativeness. So you're always like, oh gosh, what is going to happen? Like, the people like anytime they start talking to you, like this is not going to go well. You love them, but you're kind of concerned as to what they're going to get all bothered by. And they brought up this issue with their daughter, and basically was asking about sex changes and how that should be handled in a Christian view, and how they could support that. And so it was like, okay. It was a very weird, it was a very unique situation, but the context around it all kind of threw me off guard, because it was someone who had been born with both parts. And basically mom said she wanted to go this way because they didn't have, I guess at the time, the studies to determine, to look at the
You have
DNA.
now created an environment right now where I'm speechless.
Yeah, that was what I was like, and then
Yeah.
bring all this to me before I go up to preaching. They tell me this whole story. They're like, so basically, we're encouraging our daughter to get a sex change because she was born with both, and she's attracted to women. So we're telling her she should become a man. It's like, oh, okay. And they're like, so what do you think about that biblically? And it's like, so
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah,
Just
definitely.
because it's when it gets really personal and intricate, and a situation as complicated and as out of the normal field that you're playing in, as I don't know if the PC term for it, I'm not going to say it, but I was like, okay, I don't know what to do with this.
Right.
I'm going to go
Well,
preach on John.
You answered a question. You definitely answered my question about stumping you. That I can see. But here's how I would understand as you tell that story is it would probably take something of that sensitive and serious nature to stump you, to cause you to just be like, just pause and not really have, some rapid, quick response. And I'm not saying your rapid, quick responses are bad. I'm just saying you're just really good at responding. You're pretty quick to bring an answer and give guidance and advice. And so that would definitely be a moment where I'm sure you probably felt really inadequate to
Yes.
help.
I don't know if there's any preparation for a moment
Which
like
is
that.
another part that I don't know how many people really understand about in our role and what we do, of the moments and the times where we feel inadequate. We feel completely...
All of them?
Yeah, right. Feel
Wake up, go to bed the whole time.
unable to fulfill that role and that call. And that's that trust, that dependence on the Holy Spirit is so important. All right, so we're let's wrap it up with a couple more. Any other questions, Tom? Nothing? All right, good. Not good. I don't mean it that way.
Thanks for not asking
Let me
questions.
take that
you jerks.
back. Just a couple quick ones. What do you do in your free time? What's your hobbies?
Spend a lot of time with my son.
Spend a lot now with your
wife and
son?
Yeah, that takes a lot of time.
Wife's out, son's in. Good.
Yeah, forget her. She's gone. We've been going on a lot of walks with the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
That's,
especially now.
yeah.
So, okay, yeah.
But-
Inside of the stay-at-home, inside of the quarantine, it's a lot of just walking through the neighborhood, doing that type of stuff.
Yeah, just in regular free time, though, when those rare moments happen where you actually have some time for yourself, I really enjoy movies and TV shows. I like stories, and I like being able to process and express through them and to see kind of the content that someone is sharing through
Sure.
a story and through the venue of typically, specifically movies and TV shows. I find fascinating because there's several different layers of story you're kind of telling at once. That I really appreciate. So when I do have time, I like to do that.
So if we're not in a stay-at-home quarantine and other things are open, kind of there's some normalcy back. What are you going to do? What's the first thing you're going to do?
When we can go back to normal.
When we can, if it's going to be a new normal, and we all get that. But what's the first thing that you're going to do?
I'm going to go to the gym for a while.
You're going to go to the gym for a while.
Yeah. I got. Yeah. No, I'll tell
You're
Eric.
just
I'll
going
see
to
her
live
like a
at
week.
the
I'm
gym.
just gonna,
Yeah.
Just gonna
Just
sleep
gonna
on the bench
go
for a
and
while.
live-
Hold the weight. Just
You're gonna-
wait there and just go to sleep. And just.
Sleep on the dumbbells.
I got so much work to redo. I was like I was starting to make progressions and all that kind of stuff, and then it's like, oh, good, you're not going to work out for like 3
I mean, I
months.
was going to bring it up that your arms look smaller, but I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be really nice.
I'm dying inside. Wow.
I'm trying to be really nice.
This is
So
a
you're going to go to the
hostile
gym.
work environment.
Anything else? Anything else that you're going to do?
and go out to eat.
Go out to eat. Miss going out to eat.
Yes.
Yeah. What restaurant?
We'll probably end up doing King Sushi and getting that all you can eat, just devour.
And you'll stuff
make
your
it work.
face with some sushi. Yeah.
Yeah. That or good Thai food, man. I can't.
Thai food.
It's hard to find good Thai food, but when you do,
All right. Last couple of things. What are you binge watching right now? Anything?
we are watching Empire right now. So it's really I'm gaining an appreciation for rap music. Which
What
I-
is?
Weirdly enough.
What is? Where's Empire? Where are you watching that? What platform?
That one is on Hulu.
Hulu.
Yeah.
So what is your platform of choice for streaming?
I mean, if you could,
People want to know.
I would go with Netflix just because
Netflix?
it's the easiest one to utilize and
Right.
there's a lot of content.
Do you
there.
have the premium Hulu account?
No, I get stuck with ads.
You get stuck
The
with commercials.
I tell you, there are companies that I will never work with because their ads are so dumb. I'm like, you will not have my car insurance because your ad is driving me crazy.
The Liberty Mutual. Liberty.
That one's not nearly as bad as the some of the progressive ones.
Oh, we have a question.
This is from Mr. Cass Lowry.
Ooh, that makes me super nervous.
If you were not filming this video, what would you like to be doing on this beautiful Saturday afternoon like this?
do we have options, or is it just an open forum for literally anything else?
Oh, literally anything. I think I know what Rick's gonna say.
What is Rick gonna say?
Well, one of my hobbies and what I've enjoyed for a very long time, and it's also an outlet for just relief and just peace of mind, and to be outside is golf. I'm not a. I've told people that I like to play golf. I'm not good at it. I'm average at best at times. It's the most rewarding and humbling sport I think given to us. It's all on you. Like, you can't blame anybody else when you play it. You can't blame the equipment or the golf ball or anything like that.
I mean, you can.
You can,
I have
but
done all
it's
of those
irrational, right? And so I do love golfing, and in this beautiful day, I would probably be playing golf. That's what I would be doing. What would you be doing?
One day, maybe go to a pool.
Go
If I could.
The pools aren't open.
Oh, it's got to be something that I can do. Right. Okay. Sorry, I forgot.
What
the player.
fantasy are you living in right now? Or unless you have a kiddie pool at your house.
We do not.
Oh, well.
No, then we'd probably end up binge watching some show and relaxing.
All right. So, favorite movie of all time?
I have two.
You have two.
I can't narrow it down to one.
Good work.
They're two different
He's
zones.
got two.
It's hard enough.
I mean, don't give you rules, right?
Braveheart
Braveheart.
can't top Braveheart. Man, it's so good.
So
And-
that sounds like your favorite.
well, but I Guardians of the Galaxy is one that I rewatch over. I can watch it again and again and again. And
Really?
love it. Yes. Like, I love Chris Pratt to an irrational level. Yeah, like, not in a weird way, man. Don't make it creepy. But like, he entertains me. And so, like, just his character in that movie, I'm just like, I totally feel like if I was a superhero, this is what I would be like. It's just kind of an idiot that everybody
Can
makes
you
fun of.
can
but-
you quote anything from Guardians of the Galaxy right now on the spot by Chris Pratt? Can you do it? No, you can't.
all the lines
wow,
that I have.
although you've watched
Yeah.
all of this.
All the lines that I have, I can't remember what all stuff is in them. So.
My favorite character in Guardians of the Galaxy is the big guy. What's
Drax.
Yeah, Drax. He's
He's so bad.
he's got some of the best lines in the whole movie.
Yeah, he calls him when Chris Pratt calls the raccoon a trash panda. I like that a lot. So much worse.
Favorite food is sushi or Thai food. Did
Thai
we
food,
establish
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Favorite dessert?
Good pizza.
All of them.
Or Mounds pie.
Mounds pie.
Yeah.
Mounds pie.
My mom makes a Mounds pie that is.
Do you know how to make it?
I mean, I could probably figure it out, but I don't want to. 'cause
Why?
If mom does it, you should never try to do it yourself.
But your
because
mom
it will be
doesn't live.
disappointing.
Does she send you Mounds
It's
pies?
very important that I'm not around them very often because I will eat the whole thing in like 2 sittings.
Really?
Or
Can
one.
we get your mom to send us the recipe? Because I'd like to try and make a Mounds pie.
Becomes so large.
Well, I'm not going to make it for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she probably would.
All right, let's.
She's
we'll-
very
we'll-
amicable.
You know what? We'll reach out to mom maybe on
Yeah.
another episode.
I'm
How
sure
about
she's
that?
not tuning into this.
She'll probably never watch this.
No.
will she? All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Just remember, tomorrow, services online at 10 a.m. We are kicking off a brand new series called Parables. Tyler will be teaching tomorrow, so we look forward to seeing you guys then.
Wait, Your reaction makes me nervous, Tom.
That's good.
All right.